Mike Tannenbaum is back. What the? And a GM list that was out there but deleted. What does it all mean? Well, we have the answers. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
You're fucking depressing.
What's happening, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. Happy holidays, everybody, and glad you can join us. So, after we ended the show yesterday, the Jets hired Mike Tannenbaum, Rick Spielman, and a 33rd team to assist in the GM head coaching search, which is interesting. And there's been a lot of takes on it. We'll get into all that too here on the show. But first, let me flip the emoji countdown. 65 members away from our number one Austrian Jets fan from getting his next emoji. But let me just get to it quickly, and we'll get to all the other jazz. There was a GM candidate list for the Jets that was out there in the social media universe, then deleted, and people were like, whoa, what's going on here? Well, we got a full article in the YouTube description down below that's explaining this, but I wanted to talk about this because we have the answers to that. So here's what happened, okay? So the Jets hired the 33rd team, which again, it features Mike Tannenbaum, former general manager, Rick Spielman, another former general manager. Between them, they have 55 years of combined NFL executive experience, and they're not the only ones. There's many more that have ties to the company. But there was an article that was released a week ago that said the top 5 GM candidates for the Jets to consider with Joe Douglas fired. Now, Adam Schefter tweeted that out yesterday. Ian Rappaport tweeted that out yesterday. And all of a sudden, we're like, holy crap, the 33rd team accidentally, spilled the beans here, in theory, right? Like, oh boy, here are the GMs that they're going to share the same list they did with all of us to the Jets. But that's not really true. They did delete the article, and they did provide this statement. Let me put this up again. We have this in the article down below. So again, let's put the timeline out there. Jets hire the 33rd team to assist them in their search. Here's one of the quotes from the press release. The Jets hired the 33rd team, quote, in a support role to help identify and vet candidates in addition to coordinating interviews, end quote. And so they hire the 33rd team to do this. This is the 33rd team's first NFL search as a digital organization. They've assisted several college searches, but this is their first NFL search that they're assisting with. And after that news goes out, Schefter, Ian Rappaport, and many more start sharing this article from the 33rd team that was labeled, quote, 5 general manager candidates for New York Jets after Joe Douglas firing. And it starts going viral because it's being shared everywhere. The 33rd team is in backpedal mode. They delete the article and provide this response, quote, this wasn't an official list. Unfortunate timing, but something we had written before the partnership and search began. We've taken it down to avoid further confusion. Now, I will tell you this. If that article was written by Mike Tannenbaum, Rick Spielman, which, by the way, wouldn't be bizarre. Those are both on top of their roles. They're content creators as well. They have podcasts, and obviously Mike Tannenbaum's on ESPN and everything. If one of them had wrote it and had written it and it came out and then they deleted it, I would have okay, I'd be more conspiracy theory, foil around the head guy. But I was able to confirm that neither bigwig of Spielman or Tannenbaum wrote it. As a matter of fact, it was Tyler Brook. He is an NFL analyst for the 33rd team, and he sent me this response, quote, this was a list I made without any inside info. So the viral list, which we'll give you the names a little bit later, and I'll tell you my new favorite GM candidate I want the Jets to hire. He's really grown on me. Like I said, it's also in the article. So the entire viral nature of the article, we can, the viral list that went crazy, and it did go viral on social media, picked up a lot of steam. I think it was important to squash that immediately and explain exactly what that is because, the Jets' hiring of Tannenbaum, Spielman, and the 33rd team has been met by mixed reviews. So a lot of people have been making fun of it, of saying, Tannenbaum and his stupid ESPN trade proposals. What a dumb move by the Jets. Or the 33rd team releasing the article with the 5 GM candidates, and now they're just going to share that same list. Hey, check the article on the website, Jets. So a lot of people have been making fun of this move. So I wanted to establish that right from the get-go. It's an unfortunate, the 33rd team said it's an unfortunate thing. And Tyler Brook, while he's just a normal NFL analyst, no offense, he's just an analyst, right? He's just doing his job writing articles. Like sometimes when you write something for the 33rd team gets credit, not Tyler Brook. So all of a sudden we're like, the 33rd team said, here's the GM candidate list that got leaked and all this other jazz. So long story short, it was an analyst's opinion on the 5 candidates, and they deleted it because it started going viral, and people said, here are the 5 candidates, and then everyone was harping on it. So long story short, the viral GM list that was leaked /viral/ deleted yesterday was just a bunch of hoopla. There's nothing to be made of it. I wanted to make that very clear. So now that we got that portion of the exam out of the way, let's highlight our number 1 Austrian Jet fan gifting a membership, baby. You love to friggin' see it. Oh, yeah, baby. Beautiful. And now we're 64 members away from our number 1 Austrian Jet fan from getting that emoji. So join the Boy Green Coffee Club if you guys enjoyed the show. It's only $2.99 a month. The free way you guys can contribute is by liking the video and hitting subscribe. So make sure you guys keep that train rolling. So, so I did want to, like I said, establish that because a lot of people were immediately making fun of the 33rd team as this dysfunctional digital media company. And shout out to Jared B. You have our new member to the Boy Green Coffee Club, which, by the way, is NY Jets Girl 11. Welcome to the show, baby. And Jared B. shared the Discord link, which you now have access to as a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. So shout out to you. So I did want to talk about that immediately. I'm going to be honest here. I guess I just have to accept, and I guess we as Jet fans just have to accept the fact that people are going to make fun of the Jets no matter what. Because, so yesterday, Pro Football Talk, a.k.a. Mike Florio, tweeted this out last night. Quote, it's one thing for Josh Harris, who had just bought the Commanders, to hire outsiders to help him hire a coach and a GM. It's another thing for Woody Johnson, who's owned the Jets for 25 years, to do it. In other words, end quote, what Mike Florio is saying, he's making fun of the Jets for needing a search firm to help an owner that's been around for 25 years to hire somebody. And the thing that sort of bothers me, quite frankly, about it is that people make fun of the Jets. Oh, Jets suck. They're losers. Okay? They can't do anything. Woody Johnson, what an idiot. He always listens to non-football people is the criticism. Now he hires football people. Now you can question what you feel about Mike Tannenbaum, and Rick Spielman. We'll get into some of their accolades here, but they have 55 years of combined NFL executive experience. You can criticize a lot of things. Them being non-football people isn't one of them. So the Jets get made fun of for Woody Johnson listening to non-football people. Now he's literally hiring football people to try to help him make a better decision. Now this doesn't guarantee success, of course, but the Jets are trying something, and the media still makes fun of them. So if they do nothing, they're idiots. If they do something, they're idiots. I just don't know. So I guess I just have to accept the fact that is how it's going to be perceived. I guess, like I said, that's going to be how we end up doing this here. Like I said, Tannenbaum and Spielman have 55 combined years of experience. That should certainly help. Of course, we all know Tannenbaum. He was with the team in their front office from 97 to 2012. 2006, he was hired as the GM. Rick Spielman, of course, is a former general manager himself. Tannenbaum had 4 winning seasons with the Jets, the back-to-back AFC championship trips. Spielman actually helped the Washington Commanders last offseason ultimately, he helped them in the process, which led to Adam Peters of the 49ers and Dan Quinn joining it as well. So these are some guys that have gotten the job done before. Go to this. Shout out to Rich Cimini in his article talking about this. Tannenbaum has had his hand involved in a lot of different hiring because he's been an executive with the Jets and also the Dolphins. So he presided over 3 coaching searches, hiring Eric Mangini. And we can all say what we want about Eric Mangini, but Mangenius was really good as a talent evaluator. Hired him, in 2006. Hired Rex Ryan, which led us to the 2 AFC Championship games. I thank you very much. He did hire Adam Gase with the Dolphins in 2016, which Adam Gase, say what you will, he did have some success with the Dolphins before coming over here to the Jets, and also the Herm Edwards hire back in 2001. So Mike Tannenbaum, not too shabby in the head coach hiring department. And of course, there will be a lot of fuel on the flames for none other than Rex Ryan, who has a direct affiliation to Tannenbaum, who could end up being ending up being a candidate, which we'll see. Again, I don't know how much credence I actually give to the Rex Ryan stuff, but it's fun. I mean, it's cool to hear him, someone so passionate for the job. Got a couple of YouTube super chats in here. We got Lee Van, baby. Every time we get a YouTube super chat, my daughter Zariah Luna chimes in.
Wow.
Lee Van says, been a rough season. You can always count on my support, BG. I appreciate that. That means a lot, Lee. And, I commit to doing this show, whether wins, losses, Super Bowls, playoffs, or not. And it obviously has not been playoffs in a long time. Think about this. The last time I was doing a show in the playoffs was audio only. You couldn't see my face, which, like I've sort of said for the last couple of weeks, some people preferred that medium, to be honest. So you could still listen to it if you prefer not seeing my face. But I appreciate that. And thank you guys for the support. It's cool that we could still be able to do shows even when wins and things of that nature aren't happening. So shout out to you, Lee Van. I appreciate that. Another super chat coming in. David D, baby.
Wow.
Paul, happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. I appreciate that, David D. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat, and Lee Van for the $5 super chat. Thank you. It's I've never done Thanksgiving by myself alone with my family, so it'll be me, my fiance, my almost 3-year-old daughter in January, and then my son is only a couple weeks old. So we're gonna hem and hot. We're gonna throw something together and figure it out. But I appreciate the support. Thank you kindly. Let's see some more. Thank you guys. That means a lot. I appreciate that. Now, here is what the 33rd team, by the way, has on their website. They have like a little section for their additional services they provide. I found this on the website. So let's see. Here's what we offer. Assistance in executive search. Here's their like little blurb on their website. Quote, our team connects you with top leadership candidates and uniquely designs a process to ensure the right candidate is hired. Drawing on our vast NFL experience and network within college sports, we identify the right talent for coaching, front office, and administrative roles to support long-term success. And like I said, a lot of people have been making fun of it, but to me, more guys in the room, okay, that should help make a more informed decision. They're not, like, that's the thing I don't get on all the people saying, oh, Tannenbaum sucks. Those ESPN trade proposals are stupid. Well, he's not making the final decision. He's not the new, head of director of blee blah blue football operations. He's not, they're just helping vet the candidates. They're vetting the candidates. They're using their strategies. And I had it here on the Jets website. Let me read everything from the press release of what they have here. All right. And we could get all of it together here. Let's see here. Okay. Aaron Rodgers is back. That's good to see. Thank you. Okay, here it is. Here's the press release from the Jets. All right, let me get my reading glasses out here. Okay, Jets took their first step in their searches for a head coach GM. Here it is. Quote, this from the press release from the Jets. With the addition of the 3013, the Jets will have access to the group's unique data analysis, including trends and highlights in the hiring of football leadership. Again, former NFL front office executives Mike Tannenbaum, Rick Spindle will lead the project for the NFL Technology and Media Company. So again, what they're going to be doing is helping vet out. There's going to be, as Rich Cimini said in his article, a sounding board of sorts as they're going through this process. They got data analysis, they've got experience, of course, for both positions. So they have a variety of insights. Spielman and Tannenbaum and company will vet candidates, provide reference checks, in addition to supplying data on hiring trends. Simply put, there'll be a sounding board throughout the process. It's too soon to say whether they will participate in the actual interviews that will take place of course, One Jets Drive and digitally from that perspective, which I'm kind of looking forward here to that perspective. So to me, long story short, I think it's only going to be beneficial. It's only helpful for the Jets to have more people in the room, and I'm all about it. So, yes, amen. Let's go. Let's have more people in the room, and let's get as much help as we can because, boy, Woody Johnson could use it. That's for sure. Hey, by the way, here are the candidates. I think Jared B asked earlier, who were on the deleted candidate list. Shout out to Dylan of Jet Nation for capturing the list before it got the article got deleted. Here are the names that Tyler Brook, aka the 33rd team, put out there as potential options for the Jets at the general manager position. There was a few in-house options listed, like Phil Savage, Greg Nemja, John Carr, and Jason Mandolesi. Excuse me, as I'm butchering some of these. Here are the outside candidates: Ed Dodds of the Indianapolis Colts, Mike Borgonzi of the Kansas City Chiefs, Jeff Ireland of the New Orleans Saints, and Ray Agnew of the Detroit Lions. One other name to keep an eye out for: both Rich Cimini and CBS NFL insider Jonathan Jones mentioned this name as someone to keep an eye out. Donna Ponte, who has a lot of ties to the Jets GM search. She's the NFL Chief Football Administrative Officer. She previously worked for the Jets. She worked with Tannenbaum in Miami. Ponte interviewed for the Chargers GM job last year and has been among top candidates to be the first female NFL general manager. So the Jets could be making history from that perspective. But let me tell you guys real quick, here is my new favorite. Analyzing the names, digging into the details, digging into the data. Okay, I got a new favorite for general manager. And no, it's not one of these Lions people or anything like that. I got a different name that has stood out to me on this. And it is this: Brian Gaine. He is the assistant general manager to the Buffalo Bills. And the more I dig in, the more I like it. So let's get into this guy. This is my favorite for general manager. This is the guy I like the most out of the group and the list I've gone into. And there's been a lot of great names: John Dorsey, this guy. Here's more on Brian Gaine. And I also have more in the article in the YouTube description. He's currently the assistant GM for the Buffalo Bills. He was born in New York. Okay. He went to high school in New Jersey. Okay. He played for the New York Jets briefly in 1996. He was a tight end in college, and he had a very, very, very brief NFL career for a couple of years in the mid-90s, but he started his career with the New York Jets. And then after his very brief NFL career, he's like, you know what? I'm going to become an executive. And he started out as a Jet scout. He was a Jet scout from 1999 through 2004. Then he served in a variety of roles since 1999 for a variety of NFL teams. He served with the Dallas Cowboys, their assistant director of pro scouting. He was with the Miami Dolphins, assistant director of player personnel. Miami Dolphins, director of player personnel. The Miami Dolphins assistant general manager, the Houston Texans director of player personnel, the VP of player personnel for the Buffalo Bills, the general manager. He has done this job before now. It was very weird circumstances. I'll get back into that in a second. Whereas the GM of the Texans for like a season and change. And most recently, he's been with the Buffalo Bills. He was their senior personnel advisor from 2019 through 2021. And most recently, he served as the assistant GM since 2022. Now, here's some more on Brian Gaine. Although David D says Paul Austin Jr. for Jets GM, and I'm available. So please make sure that you note that in the documents. Now, I think there's a lot to like here about Brian Gaine. Now, let me explain real quick why he was the general manager for the Texans for a brief period of time. He actually took over for the previous GM, Rick Smith. Now, he took a leave of absence, unfortunately, because his wife was dealing with breast cancer. So he had to suddenly leave for an extended absence, and the Texans were sort of left like, oh, geez, what do we do? And Brian Gaine stepped up, and he was the general manager, like I said, for about a season and change. Which he took over in like January, and then the next year's June, not a couple months later, like the next following year's June, he was let go as they redid the process. But Brian Gaine checks off a lot of things off the bucket list for me. So first off, let's go through. He was born in New York. Love that. Okay. High school in New Jersey. You got to love that. Played for the Jets. That's cool. Was a scout for the Jets. Okay. He knows the AFC East. He was working for 3 of the 4 teams in the AFC East, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills most recently. So he knows the division incredibly well. He's from the area. That's another great sign. He's been a general manager before, so you like getting kind of the experience, right, of a guy serving the role. Now, it didn't last very long, but still getting a chance to be in the chair and being around is kind of interesting. And think about all the football minds this guy's been around. He was with Parcells in those late 90s when Parcells was still here with the Jets. He was with Bill Belichick, which again, we hate his guts for all the Patriot stuff, but he was around Bill Belichick. He was around Bill Parcells. He knows the division. He's a former Jets player. He's from New York. He went to high school in New Jersey. There's just he's had this long executive background for 20 plus years of being in scouting, being a director of player personnel, kind of bouncing around there. To me, this is my favorite guy. There's a lot of interesting guys on the GM list, but the more I dig in, the more I kind of sink my teeth in. I think this is our guy. And then you get him right from a division rival. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm liking Brian Gaine, baby. I'm liking Brian Gaine. Like I said, there's a lot of good names. The Ray Agnew stuff we talked about for a while with the Detroit Lions action. That one certainly, makes a lot of sense. So the Dodds, some people are talking about Ray Agnew. There's other people that people like in this group. So, yeah, again, my favorite right now is Brian Gaine. And look at the turnaround for Buffalo. That's been terrific. And like I said, all the connections I just said. Yeah, I think I gave you guys all the GM. Okay, yeah, I gave you guys the deleted GM list. That was from, again, Tyler Brook of the 33rd team. So there's a lot of names in there, a lot of names. But overall, I love the Jets hiring of the 33rd team. It can only help to have more data and analysis in the room. Now, the 33rd team hasn't assisted in an NFL search before. It gives you a little bit of pause, like, oh, they don't have a ton of experience in that department. But the people that are running it certainly have that experience. Rick Spielman was the general manager for the Vikings for a long time. Tannenbaum, of course, was here with the Jets. Rick Spielman was also the general manager for 1 second. I just had his bio in front of me here. Here is some more on Rick Spielman. Okay, he was the general manager of the Dolphins. I knew there was another place I had forgotten. In the mid-2000s, he was a GM for the Dolphins for a hot second. He was the longtime general manager of the Vikings, finding Justin Jefferson. That guy was pretty good. That was on the list, too. And he's been around, also starting his career as a scout before moving into all those executive positions. And Spielman and, things are going a little bit more south on the Washington Commanders train more recently, but Adam Peters and Dan Quinn was looking pretty good, which is a shout out to Spielman, who assisted in that hiring process. So, abso-friggin-lutely. So, yes. So he is, Brian Gaine, he is high on my list, baby. But we'll see. Like I said, there's a lot of interesting names. It's going to take a long time for the Jets to go through this process, and hopefully they just get it right, because that's all that we want ultimately at the end of the day. Okay, I went to the phone line super late yesterday, so we'll go to the phone line super early today. Let's play a quick hep song. We could talk about the 33rd team, Mike Tannenbaum being back. Who are your favorite candidates that are all over the place? And, of course, we've got a football game this week, folks. Jets, Seahawks. And before we go to our quick break, Aaron Rodgers is back, baby. Jeff Ulbrich coming out saying, of course Aaron Rodgers is our quarterback, and he totally poured cold water on any thought of shutting Aaron Rodgers down or that they've had any conversation about it. So Rodgers QB1 for the Seattle Seahawks game. That is confirmed. We got 400 people in the room. Make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, spread the good gospel of Boy Green Daily, which is a daily New York Jets video show. Again, if you become a member, real quick plug, of the Boy Green Coffee Club, which is $2.99 a month, you, of course, are a loyal contributor to the show, and you help keep the lights on, literally, which we appreciate. And also, you have all kinds of access. You have access to all our custom emojis that are for all of our great fans, and we love honoring the fans. That's what we love doing here. So let me flip that back on. For 64 members, we love seeing it. For a number one Austrian Jet fan, and access to our Discord channel, where we have a group, a community of New York Jet fans, all on this app. It's Discord. You can just you can even have it open on your computer, on your phone, or what have you. And we talk Jets, NFL, Thanksgiving holidays. I mean, all kinds of craziness happens there on Discord, which you guys can check out. And you have access to that when you're a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club. So it's the best $2.99 in the business, baby. All right, let's do this. Quick Hep song up next. We're going to open up the phone lines. You guys can call in on YouTube. Hang on tight.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets. Boy.
I love that song, baby. It never gets old. I've seen some people comment in that sounds like, to some people, nails on a chalkboard. That only makes me want to play it more. But Hep is a brilliant musician, and I absolutely love that song. While some people have suggested some editing of the lyrics may be in order here in the near future, I love it as it is. We'll see if there's any alterations that need to be made in the future. But at this point, I love it exactly as it is. The phone lines are now open. That is the pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25. If you'd like to call into the show and interact and jump on the train, feel free to do so. Do you have any thoughts on who the Jets should hire at either head coach or GM? React to the 33rd team's deleted list or what have you? Okay, we're getting a lot of love I see here. David D, sounds lovely. Fastest food reviews. Heart, the song. Damn straight, baby. And for good reason. You guys have wonderful taste. Hep is the friggin' man. Let's go to Robert Bianchi here. Offensive head coach means nothing to me. There are plenty of defensive head coaches that win. Just have to get the right guy. Now, that's true, Robert. There is plenty of defensive head coaches that have a lot of success in the NFL. However, I wouldn't say the offensive head coach means nothing. Zip and pip. Now, again, we had this conversation like maybe a week ago or something. We just saw it on Monday Night Football. John Harbaugh. I need to make sure I don't get the brothers confused. John Harbaugh with the Ravens, before he was hired, was a special teams guy. He was a special teams guy that became a head coach. We have defensive guys that have had great success. We've had offensive guys, Sean McVay's of the world, and things of that nature. So it could come from any land of time. There's no question about it. But it would just be nice that the basis, the foundation for the Jets would be offense, because you are what your head coach is. That he sets the tone, and then there's a trickle-down effect from there. So I would love for just offense to be the main squeeze for the Jets. And to be honest, when it's a defensive head coach, there are going to be chances where that's not the case. That's why I would prefer an offensive head coach. But I'm not totally opposed. And I've revealed my top three before. My number one coach on my list, Todd Monken, offensive guy. Number two, Mike Vrabel, defensive guy. So hopefully he's got a good offensive coach ready to go. Jake Asman's floated he's identified two offensive coordinators that he hired that ended up becoming head coaches. So obviously he has an eye for talent and an eye for coaching. So I'd be open to that. And then my third guy was Ben Johnson, who obviously is an offensive guy as well. So I'm open to it. Christopher Cancel. Boy Green, why would the Bills let go of Brian Gaine? Well, Christopher, this isn't slavery in 2024. Brian Gaine, here's how it works. If it is the words escape me, a lateral move, right? So if the Jets said, hey, Brian, do you want to interview for our assistant GM job? The Bills could tell the Jets to blow me. They could say that. However, when it's a promotion, they can't prevent promotional interviews. They can't, and by the way, that makes sense because you don't want NFL teams to say, hey, you can't have a promotion. That would send a very bad message. So long story short, why would they let him go? They don't have a choice. If the Jets interview him for the GM job, I mean, it's up to Brian himself. If for some reason he's like, nah, I don't want to go, that's on him. But the Bills can't block that move. Like, you can block lateral moves. For instance, the San Francisco 49ers came knocking on the Jets' door this past offseason. Hey, can we have Jeff Ulbrich? And the Jets went, blow me, pal. You're not going to get him as a DC. We have him as our DC. So they could block that move. Because lateral was the same move. It was from one to the other, same position. But if there's any level of promotion, whoop. So Brian Gaine is assistant GM. The Jets are offering GM job. Boop, boop. They can't block that. Again, if he himself didn't want it, that wouldn't make any sense. Like I said, he has a lot of Jets ties in his background, and it would be a promotion. And there's only 32 of these jobs. So I would imagine he'd be quite interested. To be honest, he may be the most interested of any of the GM candidates out there because of his specific history. So you ask, why would the Bills let him go? Well, they wouldn't have a choice in letting him go or not. Again, they could only block if other teams sought out him for an assistant GM role. So that's good to know. Phil says Ben Johnson should be number one. And you can certainly make the case. Again, the only reason Ben Johnson is number 3 is a couple of things here. First off, I don't mean to be an ageist, but, there's Sean McVay's 30-year-old somethings that end up being wildly successful. So that can happen. But I'm just looking, if I was on the dating profile, I'm just looking for someone who's kind of been around. It's a more comforting feeling. Todd Monken is in, I believe he's 58. We've looked it up a few times. He's 58. Like, this man has been around, but he's never been an NFL head coach. He's never gotten his op, but he's run a lot of great offenses. Ben Johnson is the hot flavor thing of the right now. That doesn't mean good or bad. It just is what it is. Ben Johnson is the hot, sexy thing right now that everyone wants. And maybe he's going to be this great big success. But there's a little bit of risk because me personally, I don't know what the Jets know. I don't know his personality. I don't know his leadership style. I don't know any of that stuff. All I can see is his resume. And if you look at the resume for old Ben Johnson, let me make sure I pull it up here. I'd hate to get that wrong. For old Benny here, who's 38. He's 21 years, the youth pastor here to Todd Monken. His resume is a little light. It's a little light. He was a graduate assistant at Boston College, a tight ends coach at Boston College. Then he was with the Dolphins forever. He was with the Dolphins from 2012 through 2018 in a variety of roles: assistant quarterback coach, tight end coach, assistant wide receivers coach, wide receiver coach. So he just kind of kept climbing the ladder. And then he got hired by the Lions as a quality control coach in 2019. Then a tight ends coach, then a passing game corner. He's only been an offensive coordinator since 2022. So again, the resume, a little light. He hasn't had a lot of experience, so to speak. So I'm not killing the guy, but I'm looking for something a little older. And then, like I said, Vrabel's been a head coach before, too. So that's why those two are higher up on the list. All right, let's go to the phone lines. We've got our boy Hep here on the show. What's up, Hep? Good morning.
Hey, Paul. Hey, fellas. How you doing?
Excellent.
Hey, I'm intrigued by this GM, the assistant GM you have for the Buffalo Bills. What's his name?
Yeah, Brian Gaine.
Brian Gaine. Yeah, I'm very intrigued with that. He checks off a lot of the stuff. And what do you think? You think Woody would consider him?
Yeah, I really hope so. Now, sort of, I guess that's right around the dawn of when Leon Hess and then Woody Johnson passing the torch. So he technically did work under Woody Johnson and Leon Hess, for that matter, from his
scout, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, he was a scout from 99 through 2004. So like he crossed over with Woody there. I don't know if Woody knew him personally, but there's just a lot of connective tissue, and there's been a lot of people that have been saying, "Oh, who would want this Jets job?" That's what all these people have been saying. And man, I don't think that would be in question with a guy like Brian Gaine, who literally has blood, sweat, and tears with the Jets. So that'd be kind of a cool coming of age, coming home story.
Yeah, full circle.
100%. And I don't, I haven't really thought about like what his connections would be in terms of who the head coach would be. But off the top of my head, for the Aaron Glenn people in the room, that means they played together very briefly. And that could be. So Brian Gaine there, and they both played together. And when he was a scout, obviously Aaron Glenn was still here. So all of that connected tissue, maybe those are the two that are just married from that relationship. But to me, he's a guy that I think who'd want the job, no question. Not that others wouldn't, but like there'd be no debate about that.
Now, as far as this week's game coming up, what do you think about the getting gashed up the middle? Are they going to fix that, or is this going to be an ongoing problem?
I'm a little worried because Kenneth Walker is a bad man. And they have this propensity to want to pound the rock a little. Now, with as much talent as they have in the backfield, I'm pretty sure I'll have to double check the passing numbers, but Geno Smith was like the league leader in passing yards heading into the week. So he throws the ball all over the place. So long story short, it's a very dynamic offense that could give people a lot of problems. So I'm just curious what, regardless of matchup or scheme or this or that, what Jets are going to show up. Is it going to be this first half BS where Aaron Rodgers has 15 yards passing, and then we're like, oh, maybe they're a second half team, Bob. They're don't worry, they're going to catch up in the last 30 minutes. Okay, that's encouraging. I just want to see if they have any chutzpah. Like, they come out of this bye with some fire. Are they just going to be like this team that lays down? We're like, okay, we know how these final 6 weeks are going to go. Like, this game to me is going to be a telltale it's going to set the tone for what these final 6 are going to be. Is it going to be competitive and let's go? Let's see what these games are going to be. Are they going to lay down and we're all going to have to cover our eyes and our children's eyes for what's going to be happening on the TV screen? We'll have to see.
All right. Well, peace out, guys.
Okay.
Keep the faith.
Love it, Hep. Thanks for the call. Yeah, we'll see. But boy, yeah, we'll have to get into some of the numbers this week. We'll have a Seattle Seahawks person joining us a little bit, coming up a little bit later this week. Christopher Cancel, real quick, just to go back to this. Boy Green, just out of curiosity, where are these so-called promotions coming from? I don't follow NFL news. Yeah. So maybe I'm not explaining it well enough. So Brian Gaine is the assistant GM of the Buffalo Bills. If any other NFL organization calls up the Bills, say, hey, we'd like to talk to Brian, and they will talk to Brian about what? And then they say, hey, we want him to be our coffee boy or assistant GM. Anything assistant GM or below, the Bills can tell that other team, that other NFL team or college team or wherever, to blow me. They don't have to allow him to even interview for that job if it is lateral or less. If it's a promotion, anything above his assistant GM job, so a general manager position would be higher on the totem pole than assistant GM. They can't block that. They can't say, sorry. If Brian says, hey, Bills, I want to go interview for that, they can't say no. That's against the rules. So anything that is a promotion, they have to allow him to go investigate that opportunity. That's what I'm trying to explain with the promotion part of the business and where you are. Again, like head coach, that's as high as you could go. So another team can say, hey, can we interview your head coach? And then the team can't block it. They can block it if it's lateral or less, if that makes sense. Anywho, let's go back to the phone lines. We've got Paul Esden, my father.
Hey now, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Pop. What's going on? Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Happy holidays. Yeah, I had to call in on this a couple things. KW3 is a bad man. Mm-hmm. And Geno Smith is going to round out the trifecta of the revenge quarterbacks for the Jets. So we will see. More on that to come.
Good
on
tease.
Thursday and Saturday. So
wow, nice.
But so really the key for the general manager for the Jets is to define the roles and responsibilities they want for their GM. It does vary with every team. Sure. And then unlike some jobs, like, you could say that you are the president of Boy Green Daly's enterprise, the chief financial officer. These head coaching, GM candidates, their resume, they can't lie. It's all out there. They were an assistant GM. So what did they do during that role? Who was drafted? What's the records? Because you can ask anybody anything in an interview. I've interviewed hundreds of people and hired them, and anybody can say anything during an interview. So you have to go in there with the knowledge of their background, their performance. And for this job, it's a blank sheet of paper, unless you're going to go with somebody that has not done it before. And then it's clearly, it's speculation. But for the example, for the gentleman that you like, his body of work, you could go look it up. What was the record? Who did they draft? Et cetera, et cetera. How did they do with the salary cap? So the really thing, and that's a great job for the 33rd team, they could get all those analytics. Like, how did his teams, when he was in those positions, how was their salary cap? How did they manage the contracts? It's phenomenal. So that's the benefit of hiring the 33rd team. They have a full staff that can dig into those, and you could just, frankly, you could probably do an AI search and tabulate, here's the things we want the GM to do. And with these candidates that have been at other places, you could get a really solid, and then you could decide if you want to take a shot. And I think the Jets are in the spot where you don't want to take a shot. You got to take one of these people that's an experienced executive. And unless somehow you have this feeling that this new guy is going to be phenomenal, otherwise, do the research, hire the best candidate. And the interview is actually the least valuable part of this particular job. Now, a head coach would probably be different. I would definitely ask, what's the first 3 things you're going to do when you're hired? Give us your 100-day plan. Give me your 100-day plan. Give me your draft plan. What are you going to do with our current roster? The guy better come prepared. That's all I would say. So that's the GM. I mean, there's interesting ties with this guy, but really getting into the details. This is a $1 billion corporation, and you pull out all the stops to hire the right person. And frankly, I don't think they've done it before. So I think what he did, the smart thing, making sure that they brought this team in to help him hire.
Yeah, and a quick follow-up here on that is this. It's a great way how you put that. What were their job titles and what they mean? So, like, for instance, there are offensive coordinators in the National Football League that don't call plays. So, same thing for an assistant GM. Different just because I'm the manager of Walmart. Well, okay, what do you do, manager of Walmart? What's your job responsibilities? My manager of Walmart here in Oswego might be different than the manager of Walmart in New York City. So really getting into not just reading the surface label of what it is, I think is important, because remember, Nathaniel Hackett, speaking of a random guy, he was the offensive coordinator in Green Bay for those 3 years, those 2 of those being MVP seasons for Aaron Rodgers, but he didn't call plays. So then you got to really dig into, okay, then what did he do? So same thing for Brian Gaine here is the guy I brought up, assistant GM. I imagine his assistant GM roles are not the same as the Dallas Cowboys assistant GM. So right, we have to, which I guess is what the 33rd team can do, maybe that I won't have the same analytics or numbers to, of job responsibilities and some of that information that may not be public. But yes, 100%, we have to go even deeper, which is why I thought the 33rd team will provide more data. Again, that doesn't guarantee success, but the more information you have, the more informed decision I guess you can make.
And they're more likely to get the job description for the assistant GM of Buffalo, right? Or when he was the assistant, you said, of the Houston Texans, right? They could probably, dig into that. So, really, this is pretty exciting opportunity. They're going to have that background. The last thing I would like to talk about briefly.
Okay, sure.
Is Ulbrich. I don't know what he's doing anymore. Maybe he hasn't known what he's doing. He's still trying to find the roadmap so he can wipe his ass. I'm not sure what his, but of course Aaron Rodgers starting quarterback. What are you doing? What are you doing? He may not even suit up for a football team next year, and he shouldn't suit up for the Jets, and they're not in the playoffs. So what are you doing? What are you doing? What's the intent of the next 6-pack of games? What's the intent? What is the goal of the New York Football Jets for the next 6 games?
I think maybe we have a different conversation when the Jets are mathematically eliminated. Right now they have a point. Hey, wait. They have a 0.7% chance to make the playoffs. So you're telling me there's a chance. When it is clear, again, one more loss, I would imagine would do it, or maybe some combination of other teams' wins, they will be eliminated.
For a month and a half. Oh my God.
Well, so once he's eliminated, maybe the Jets handle Aaron Rodgers differently.
Yeah, by the way, I would say even if you thought there is a chance, there's a chance. The Angels in the outfield rally around the Jets, there's a chance. Even with a chance, he still may not be the best choice. Obviously.
Well,
let's see. Lately? Aaron Rodgers with the ball, 90 seconds, 1 timeout, 30 yards to go to get a reasonable field goal. End of the game. Loss of 12 yards on that drive. Pathetic. Pathetic.
He is a late bloomer, and now that they've had the late bye week, the Jets can go on a run.
He's still looking for that red line. Apparently, Mike Williams knows where it is. He found it the first game.
Well, I hope Mike Williams calls and lets us know where that red line is. That would be important to know. But for now, Rodgers is a quarterback. And again, if he plays really well coming out of the bye, then he's a quarterback the rest of the way. If he stinks, then he's not.
He's going to lose to the third jettisoned quarterback in a row this year. He's going to be the third. It's going to be the third one.
Possibly.
Jets quarterbacks 3, Aaron Rodgers 0.0. Mr. Blutowski. Come on.
Again, what does Tyrod Taylor is 35 years old. If he's the bridge next year, I get it. But we don't know. Jordan Travis, as far as we know, is laying on a lab table at the Jets facilities. We haven't seen this guy.
Well, maybe you're right. But anyways, really cool about the Jets GM. You mentioned the Ulbrich and Aaron Rodgers. I just think, when we're talking next week, when I guess it's 0% chance, and you're still asking for Aaron Rodgers to start for some inexplicable reason, we could talk then.
Okay, I guess so. Pop, safe travels as you continue along your way here, and I'm looking forward to some multiple Hop on Pop appearances, Thanksgiving, Saturday, and of course, there's the Boy Green official merch shop down in the link down below that people can collect the latest merch.
I'm on the way to your grandmother's house through the snow.
Okay.
So it's not really
well, safe travels.
All right. Peace out.
Thanks, Pop. Okay, always keeping it real. There he is. 0.7% chance to make the playoffs. So you're telling me there's a chance, huh? Well, we'll get back into that later. All right, back to the phone lines. FFL 98, it's up next. What's up, pal?
Good morning, Paul. The conversation, obviously, this is all fun. Everybody's coming up with ideas, and that's all good. That's kind of where we're at right now.
Yeah.
But I think what's getting lost in the shuffle a little bit is, what do we always talk about is that you need to give your GM the opportunity to pick his staff.
Yes.
All right. So there's a lot of names that are being kicked around for head coach, for example. Right.
Sure.
But to me, you got to settle on a GM first, and then let him pick them. So I keep talking about myself about Agnew and Glenn. Now, I would love to have an ex-Jet. I'd like to have a guy who's younger, has that energy, maybe connects better with today's players. To me, on paper or, just hypothetically, Glenn fits a lot of, checks a lot of boxes. Mm-hmm. But who would know better whether he thinks he's his guy than Agnew?
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So, to me, and again, he's an assistant GM, but he's been around a while. He's been a big part of this thing. This is an opportunity for him to move up. And then he can pick his staff. Who would know better than him whether he wants to pick a guy like Aaron Glenn? And if he doesn't, you hire that guy and you let him make his choices and you build your staff from there. This 33, there's nothing wrong with bringing in people and getting ideas. I think that's always a good idea. But I just think that we can throw out names all day long. And again, I think the retread stuff, the Rex Ryan stuff, I just think we're past that. I really do. I really like to see this organization move in the direction that other smart organizations move in, modernize things, and God willing, maybe Woody's learned his lesson and he'll just step back. Because to me, I think it was him who wanted this whole Aaron Rodgers thing from the get. You go back 2 years ago, I think it was him who said, we're going to go get him, and instructed everybody else to make that happen and to make him happy and all that. I think that all comes back to Woody. And I think as it unraveled and things didn't go well, he got more and more involved. He's been the general manager of this team for some time now, and it's a disaster. And I hope maybe he just hires that next guy, gives him the keys, and let him do his job. And I would like personally, I like the idea of Agnew. And one last thing, I understand everybody's talking offense, and I get that. I do. All right. Mm-hmm. But I think leadership and being able to manage today's players is where it starts. There'll be plenty of great coordinators out there, plenty of guys with pedigrees, plenty of new ideas for offensive schemes. And again, you got to make it fit to your talent as well. So, I just think that's, we're just a little premature. Hire the GM, go from there.
Okay, so you just confirmed it there at the end, but I did want to reiterate that. So you're all for the I would call it traditional, probably, of our GM first, then coach. You would not be for head coach first and then find the GM.
No, I don't. I don't see that working very often, if ever.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to have a hierarchy, a pecking order. Now, again, the only guys you could say you could do the other way is somebody you're going to give that ultimate power, like a Pete Carroll. Okay,
correct.
Pete Carroll had final say over his general manager. Okay, if you want to bring in a Pete Carroll, a John Gruden, and give him that kind of power, I get that. But again, to me, I don't want any more retreads. I don't want any 70-year-old guys. All right, let's try a different approach here, and just go, hire that young, hot executive GM, give him the keys, and see what happens. And listen, it could be a disaster. That's how this shit works. Yeah. And I said before, nobody knew that Tomlin was going to be Tomlin.
Of course.
20 years ago. Right? We'll see. I just think first things first, man. And again, the other thing, there's a lot of names out there, Ben Johnson and Dorsey and all that.
Yeah.
Who says they want to come here?
That's a good point.
They're going to have options galore, these guys.
Yeah.
So to me, settle on 2 or 3 guys for GM, bring them in, make offers, and who knows? They might offer Dorsey the job, and he says no. Well, who's next? Agnew. Right. There's a process here, and people acting like everybody, we're just going to hire whoever we want. I don't know that that's the case.
Yeah, we'll have to see what are all the that's what I want to see is what are all the other jobs available, and then we can have real conversations about where the Jets sit potentially in whatever pecking order exists. Normally it's 6, 7, 8, and that doesn't always mean GM and head coach. Sometimes it's one or the other, but 6 or 7 or 8 are normally the list. Where the Jets going to sit, that could determine where they sit in terms of the flexing of being able to get the guy they want. Philium, you always bring the insights, my friend.
Well, I appreciate that, Paul, and happy Thanksgiving to you and yours.
I appreciate that. Happy holidays to you, buddy, and thanks for chiming in. I love when the comments come in. They're like, this FL Phil guy, he's wise. I agree. Wise beyond his years. Let's go to another wise sage here on the show. It's Johnny Boy here on the program. What's up, Johnny?
Bro, I don't think I'm a wise guy like Phil. I'm more of a wise ass.
Oh, well, that's still sort of wise. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of in the vicinity, of wise. Yeah.
I love Phil, man. Phil, he gives such great insight, man, and the way he breaks it down is always so clear as well. So I appreciate that.
For sure.
But I have to disagree with some of the points that Phil was saying in regards of why come to the Jets and all that. I understand that there is going to be other teams and stuff like that in regards to them going and having the opportunity to play over there. But for me, as somebody that is competitive and whatnot and wants to be like that, like the allure of coming to New York as the Jets, seeing more of the risk and reward piece of it, where there's more reward, I would say, because let's be honest, right? Rex Ryan, he won here for 2 years. Right. And because of those 2 years winning with the New York Jets, he's this guy that's done all this stuff, blah, blah, blah.
Right. He's going to be an ESPN analyst until he's dead because of what he did with the Jets. He's the belle of the ball, baby. And that's just a taste.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, now look, he's right. I agree with what Phil was saying in regards of the whole getting a GM first.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Coach. It has to make sense. So, that's why, I've been saying about the Agnew piece of it, right? Well, Agnew's son is already staffed by the New York Jets.
Right, I believe he's a scout, I believe, yeah.
Why would you not want to come over here where you could have a potentially to, play with your son again, right? Probably move him up into a better position and whatnot and kind of go from there, right? And then Agnew has those ties with the Glenn, with the Johnson, to where they already know each other. so they're not having to really like, I never met this dude. Who is this guy? We don't want Todd Bowles 2.0 to happen all over again, right? The Dorsey pick and all that stuff like that, right? He's cool with Flores. He knows Flores. They all like have worked together within the past itself, so they know each other to a certain degree. Like for me, it has to be guys that are already worked with each other and have done stuff. So I love the Mike T and the Spillman, whatever his name is.
Rick Spielman. Yeah.
To be able to go ahead and consult, because that's what they're going to do. They're consulting. They're not evaluating any kind of talent. They're not going to go ahead and have any say when it comes to the draft pick. No, they're trying to pick up the GM, right? And have actual football minds around Woody Johnson for once, instead of Jaime, right? Where I didn't even know who Jaime is, or these other, business consulting guys that were around Woody Johnson right now, giving him stuff that doesn't make any kind of sense. I'm hoping that this is the Dolan effect right now, to where he's like, hey, here you go. I got you the guys, do what you got to do. And those will be the keys to success. I just can't, you know what I'm saying? Like with Woody Johnson, he needs to step back, let them guys do the stuff like that. And this is the first step in a while that I could see and say that Woody Johnson actually did a correct move. He did the right thing, because we were all wanting this, and it's done. Hopefully these guys stay here with us and for the next 4 years with Woody Johnson gone and whatnot, right? With the administration coming up and everything, and kind of go from there. I think, the negative spin, because we've been so bad for so long that people don't think that they're going to want to come to the New York Jets. I think it's bad, and I think it's a false type of thing in regards to, because why not? Why would you not come? You win here, it's Messier conversation all over again.
Of course.
Right? Greatness, legend, your legacy, and all that. But is a Ben Johnson going to want to do that as his first time as a head coach and all that? Does it make the sense for that? I'm on board for Brian Flores. I love Brian Flores. He's a New York guy. He's an a-hole first and foremost.
No doubt about it.
Scared to go ahead and put Aaron Rodgers and bench him if he needs to, if he's doing like crap or whatever. People are like, oh, but I'm worried about what he's done with the whole Tua. So what? I mean, good. He did it. I mean, it is the truth, right? Tua doing well. Yes, but I mean, he's like a vase, bro. You touch him and that crap might break. So I want guys like that. I want dudes that are dogs, like they said in the past and everything. And then the last thing I'll say this, BG, and let's be honest, bro. Rex is coming over here, bro. As much as I don't want that dude to come over here, I know people are going to say that. Rex is coming over here, man.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't get an interview, because now that Tannenbaum's a part of the process, again, Tannenbaum does not make the hire. He's just providing information and helping sort out candidates. But with the relationship with Tanny and their ESPN teammates as well, so they were together with the Jets. They've been together in this post-football world of whatever the hell they're doing. Man, I would imagine Rex Ryan a little bump to Tannenbaum to at least get him in the room with Woody, because that's the other thing that we're not talking about here. Woody hired Tannenbaum and his company. Tannenbaum created the 33rd team, and that's a guy he's known forever. So that's part of the interview process. I think Rex will get an interview. We'll see where it goes beyond there. But, man, Rex is a pretty persuasive guy. If you get him in the room, maybe Woody's going to come out of the meeting fired up like, okay, here we go. We can do this.
And with Rex, the conversation have been in regards to everybody saying, well, he doesn't know how to, like, it's his way or the highway, or it's this and that. No, I think he's learned, to be honest with you. I think with the interview conversation is going to be like, hey, we're going to have to, like, who's going to be your coordinators, right? And if he comes in and he's like, Mike P and this guy or this guy again, all over again, then don't hire him, bring newer guys. But honestly, bro, like my dude that I want Brian Flores. If Dayball is out there, pick that dude up, and go from there, man, because that'll be a great tandem to have and whatnot, So, BG, I appreciate you, man. Happy Thanksgiving. I mean, you're gonna be on tomorrow and all that, so
of course. But yeah, I appreciate that.
The Mike T and the Spielman whole thing is great. It's a good first step to go into the correct and right direction. Hopefully, Woody listens to them, because that's the other thing. Is Woody got to listen to them, right? And gets the people that needs to be in place to make this damn organization succeed. So, BG, appreciate you, bro.
Thanks, Johnny. I appreciate it. I would assume that Woody, paying the millions of dollars he likely is for the 33rd team, will listen and value the information that's being provided. Not like, hey, hire this guy. They're like, he's like, sure. Like, ultimately, it's his business. He's a multi-billionaire. I would say this on the there's no contention, the disagreement, whatever word you want to call it, between Johnny and FL Phil with the perceived attractiveness of the Jets job. Here's where I stand. I'm not ready to get into the octagon yet and fight anybody who says this, that, or the other about the Jets' attractiveness or non-attractiveness, because we need to see who are the list of teams that we're competing with. So we know the New Orleans Saints right now, and they're in cap hell, and they don't have a quarterback either. So I don't think the Saints are a better job than the Jets. So put them behind, and then let's see what other jobs. The Jaguars' job becomes available. Trevor Lawrence, that's a disgusting contract. You can't tell me the Jaguars are a better job than the Jets. Put them in the rear view mirror. So I think the Jets are going to be attractive. Now, I'm not naive to say they're the most attractive job, unquestioned. There's no debate about it. I don't know what other jobs are going to be available. But I do agree with Johnny's point that there is the winning in New York. And if you win in New York, you're like a legend. So people are going to want that challenge, I think, number one. So I think that's attractive. Again, I've mentioned some of these points before. Woody Johnson is incredibly patient as an owner outside of this year where he's trigger happy left and right. When you look at the history, he had never fired a coach GM combination in the middle of the season. He's just done it both this year. Every coach not named Adam Gase gets a chance for 3-4 years of really trying to find themselves. So he's patient with that. He's not David Tepper. Like, David Tepper's a terrible owner. He fires someone new like every year, and he threw a drink on a fan. Like, that guy's a crazy lunatic. Okay? Woody Johnson isn't that. Now, I'm not saying Woody Johnson's perfect, but like, come on, man. What are we talking about here? So I do think the Jets will be attractive. How attractive? Let's see what other jobs are available, and then we can have pissing contests and get into the mix. Then we can see what happens. Phil says, Paul, how about on the next show do a poll with the top 3 combinations of people and people can vote? Sure, I'm all for. Maybe we could do a round of voting and try to see who people prefer, and I could try to keep track of it. That's fine. We'll also be live back again at 3 o'clock. We'll be playing a interesting Jets roster game, myself and James Woody. So stay tuned to that. That's coming up at 3 o'clock again with myself and Woody. Let's go back to the phone lines. We got several callers still left. We got 600 people in the room, so make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, and again, join the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. I want to give away another 5 memberships, okay? I'd love to give away another 5 memberships to the Boy Green Coffee Club, but I need you people to jump in with me. So we did it, earlier this week or something? Like, if you guys give away 15 members, I'll jump in with 5 more. Yeah, I'll do that again. And that doesn't have to be today. We could see how that develops here over the coming days. I'd love to jump in on the gifting of memberships and see if we can help kind of grease the wheels a little bit for our number 1 Austrian Jet fan. That'd be terrific. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Here we got Ricky, New York Live, baby. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, what's happening, Paul?
Oh, good to see you, pal.
Good to see you as well. Let me tell you something. All these people who have that attitude of, no one's going to want to come here. It's a dumpster fire, blah, blah, blah. You know what? There's only so many head coaching opportunities in the NFL. And not to mention the fact that it pays extremely well, too.
Sure.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you something right now.
Okay.
The head coaching position, the GM position for the New York Jets, just like me, extremely attractive. Extremely attractive.
Yes. That's what we're looking for. Yeah.
Yes. And you know what? And the other thing is, not only this year, but last year. What did we say? First, it was only a quarterback away. Then it was, this team is built to win now. We're all in. Mm-hmm. Are you going to take a team that's built to win now? Or are you going to go to Jacksonville, where they're maybe considering offloading Trevor Lawrence because they figured out he isn't the guy? A team that has an even worse record than ours. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna go and because that's the thing we got to remember about the NFL draft. There are no sure things. It's a crapshoot. Mm-hmm. So are you going to want to go to a place where the roster is full of holes and you're going to have to build with, you better hit on these picks, or you want to go to a thing that's like ready to go right now? This job is a lot more attractive than people give it credit for. I understand from the fans' perspective, we're sick and tired of it. We're fed up, man. Like, how long do we have to wait to see our team perform like other teams perform? But as I've gone over this thing, the last week or so, it kept coming back to coaching. Mm-hmm. Like, we've got the players. We just need the right leadership, to get them in the right direction. I'm real high on the Lions guys, like Johnny was saying, Agnew's son's in the scouting department here already.
Yeah.
Help grease the wheels. If I was Woody, I would probably throw everything at Ray Agnew. And then once you get him in the door, your chances of Ben Johnson are a lot better.
I would assume so. Yeah.
However, I'll tell you what, a lot of people are like, oh, Aaron Glenn, another defensive guy. You know what? Aaron Glenn was also in our scouting department right here for years. I mean, years. So he's familiar with the organization, familiar with Woody. And even though some people, I obviously would like an offensive guy too. However, say that doesn't pan out. We bring in Aaron Glenn. What is Aaron Glenn's calling card in Detroit? The run defense.
Yeah.
They stop the run. His number one priority in Detroit was, we are going to stop the run. And they're damn good at it. What has been one of our biggest problems? Stopping the run.
Yeah, it's been demoralizing.
Don't, people shouldn't just dismiss him out of hand. Like, that could actually turn out to be maybe just what we've been needing. Now, that being said, yes, I would like the Agnew Johnson combination. If that doesn't pan out, if Stefanski gets cut loose, I'd be interested. Then you have Monken, sure. Vrabel, there are some other guys, but I would have to say that the Detroit guys are where I would lean. That would be my first option. I would do everything in my power to get them here if I was Woody. And if it doesn't work out, I mean, obviously things, but people who are saying no one's going to want to come to the Jets, don't listen to that nonsense. Okay. Don't listen to the Allens of the world, because according to him, Aaron Rodgers would never come here. Tyron Smith would never come here. Mm-hmm. You know what? The Jets are a damn good roster, not team, but roster, where we've got all the pieces in place right now. And that counts for, I think, quite a bit more than what people are giving it credit for.
There's no doubt about it.
I'm going to leave it at that.
I love it. Ricky, thanks for the call, brother, and happy holidays, my friend.
Yes, happy holidays to you and yours.
I appreciate that. Let me say this, because I want to make sure this doesn't get off the rails. Not saying Ricky did or anybody did. I'll highlight FL Phil's comment here. But he said, I never said the job wasn't attractive. I said we can't assume what jobs guys would choose. In other words, Jet fans like, ooh, we want Ben Johnson. There's no guarantee that Ben Johnson's going to want us. So Phil's not saying that they're attractive or unattractive or this, that, or the other. And the thing I would just say on it is there has been a lot of other people not named FL Phil 98, people out in the universe that say, it's Jets job sex, it's unattractive, and things of that nature. I would just say, before I really roll up my sleeve and say, all right, you bastards, and get in the octagon saying, screw you, Jets are attractive, Jets are not attractive. Like I said, I want to see what the full list of jobs are. And normally every year there's 6, 7, 8. And not every one of those, as I mentioned before, are head coach and GM. It's only one or the other sometimes, or sometimes it's both. But before I really start arguing how attractive the Jets job is, I want to see what the other ones are. I would just say for the people that are out there, again, it's not FL Phil 98. There are people out there that say the Jets are going to be last in attractiveness. I aggressively push back on that because I'd say the Jets are better than the Saints job, and the Jaguars job, I think, is inevitably going to come open. And I'd say the Jets are better than that job. Now, are they going to be better than all of them? Maybe not. But the Jets as a whole, they've got young talent. Woody Johnson is patient. Woody Johnson spends money. Look at all the money he spends. Like, I'm not saying he's perfect, but there's a lot of pluses to that experience as far as I'm concerned. We've got other callers to get to, but let's get back. I see FL Phil 98 call back in here. Go ahead, buddy. What's up?
Well, I appreciate what you just did because that's why I called back in. Is like, well, I never said anything about the job. As a matter of fact, after firing Saleh, and we talked at that time about next head coach kind of thing, I was one of the guys who said exactly what Johnny did. Hey, this is New York, man. You win here, you're a legend. Mm-hmm. So I never said anything of the kind, and I appreciate you pointing that out. Yeah. I never said the job wasn't attractive. I said, we can all say, I want Ben Johnson, but if Ben Johnson goes somewhere else, what's plan B? Correct. And I think that starts with you hire your general manager. Mm-hmm. The same thing with that. If you got 3 guys you want to consider for your general manager, you put them in order 1, 2, 3. If number 1 goes elsewhere, you got to have a plan B.
100%. I hope they have a plan B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I want that to be as prepared as possible.
So, that's all I was saying is it's a matter of, I think we have to start with the GM and trying to put together an entire staff. If we have this guy's head coach and this guy's OC and this guy's DC, I just think and again, I get it. It's conversation. That's what we're doing here. It's all good. I was just saying my perspective was I would hire the GM and go from there. But I never in any way suggested that the Jets weren't a great job. I think that, like Ricky said, there's only 32 of them. I go beyond that. It's not just a matter of there's only 32. I do think if you can frickin' turn this thing around, they're going to build you a wing in the Hall of Fame, man, if you can resurrect the Jets.
Yeah, that's right.
I appreciate you, Paul. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, FL Phil 98. I would say I agree with the 99% of FL Phil there. I'm 99% hire GM first and go head coach. That 1% is like the elite of the elites. If somehow you have the right guy that you have to give extra power to, that'd be the way to do it. We'll go back to the phone lines in a second. Jared B jumping in on the membership action, baby. Okay. You are now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club as we keep getting the party going. 63 members away from our next emoji for our number 1 Austrian Jet fan. And hey, we'll try to see if we can keep gaining the memberships, baby, so we can see as well. And FL Phil 98, by the way, also used his member shout out here as well to confirm.
Wow.
And I also want it to be known that on my dating profile, I say I'm incredibly attractive. So yes. Let's go back to the phone lines. We've got NY Jets FL here on the show. What's up, pal?
Oh, good morning.
Good to see you.
The more that I think about Rex, he's going to, the experience and the knowledge that he gained being in TV, knowing the personnel of all the teams now, right? Seeing a lot of film in the league, I think he'll have a different perspective if he gets the job. And the contacts probably he made, he probably knows a lot. It's obvious he knows a lot more about the league that he's been on television and not sitting on the sideline like Gruden, analyzing film of games and doing YouTube videos. I think he's got. The more that I think about Rex, the more fascinated I am by it. If he hires the right people, which brings me to my point, which is the analytics department. Like, to me, the Eagles are probably in the top 3 teams in the league. They know how to do it. They know how to draft everything. I looked up I started going through the Eagles personnel department. There's a guy named Anthony Kazi. You can look him up. Anthony Kazi created college and pro scouting software applications. Okay.
Whoa.
That's the kind of guy you want to find and get. He's a software. I don't know what his title is. If you can get a guy like that, a different kind of way to think about playing, developing players and analyzing players. That's the kind of guy you want. I think that's where we got to pick up our end of the bargain.
Yeah, he's the VP of Software Innovation. He's in the middle of his 15th season with the Eagles, and he got promoted to that fancy title in 2020. Prior to that, he was the Senior Director of Software Innovation. So yeah, he is a very technically savvy background here, it appears. Yeah.
I think we have to start looking at those kind of things more than just hiring, Tannenbaum sounds great for historical purposes. It's like that where that's old school, in a way. And that's where Phil, in a way, is right. Maybe we have to think a little bit more of the analytics part of the game as opposed to the coaching. It's together. Let's put it that way. But maybe more analytics would be helpful. And I'll just give you 2 examples. Cooper DeJean is a stud. They got him at pick number 40, the Eagles.
Oh, my. How did they get Cooper DeJean, ridiculous. Man? He is so freaky.
Well, I saw
good.
That guy in college. He was ridiculous. He was a freaky athlete, too, but probably just a little bit raw. And, Jalen Carter, they picked him at 9. I think he had a few character issues maybe coming out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely did. Yes.
But, a few. But I think if Rex can take his knowledge of the game, and obviously the guy's got a 4-2 record in the playoffs. He may be an under 500. He may be an under 500 coached in total, but I would take that guy any day on a game day. Coaching,
that's for sure,
especially in the playoffs. So I think let's think. Tannenbaum's leading the search, but we have to think outside the box here and maybe improve some of the other things in our team. So. Anyway, happy holidays, Paul. I hope you. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be around. My work schedule's been nuts as always, but that's my thought. Have a good one.
I appreciate it. NY Jets FL joining us here. Yeah, I'm all for the analytics, and like I said, quite frankly, getting creative to try to figure something out. Let's go to FF Your Lily in Big D. Super sticker. Ooh, I like it. Very nice. Booyah, super stickers. Okay, we're getting all the trinkets out for this time of year. Thank you so much for the support to the channel. Much, much appreciated, baby. Okay, we're pulling out all the stuff. Hey now, our number 1 Austrian Jet fan says, hold my beer. And here we go. We're 62 members away from our number 1 Austrian Jet fan from getting their emoji. I'll tell you this: if we get another 12 members right now, I'll gift another 5 right now on the show, baby. We'll keep the train rolling for the holidays. So, guys, if we get another 12 members here in the next few minutes, I'll give 5 more myself. Let's friggin' go, baby! I love it. And by the way, our new member, to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Let me make sure we get it here. One moment. We've got MC3, Michael Carter III. Okay, welcome, my friend. Okay, one of the top corners in the NFL. We appreciate you. You're now an official member to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Again, if we get 12 more members here, I'll gift a 5-pack right now. We can all gift this together. Let's go. Alan DeJean's my boy. I can't believe he slipped that far in the draft. Unbelievable. Another great grab by the Eagles. Doing wonderful, wonderful stuff. Absolutely excellent. Okay, I'm trying to catch up on all the comments here. See if I'm missing anybody here. Yeah, Moneyball was a good point by Hep. Moneyball. Yeah, there you go. He's some sort of analytical software guy. All right. Well, which I'm all, again, hey, the more smart people we can bring in the room, the better. Hennessy Heisman says, I could see Vrabel in Chicago over Ben Johnson. BJ don't want to coach in that division. By the way, let me tell you guys real quick. Again, you guys can join. Again, 12 more members. I'm gifting you guys another 5. Here's how it works. You can join the Boy Green Coffee Club in the YouTube description down below. If you are a fan of the show and you're watching right now, you say, hey, I want to punch in my own ticket. It's only $2.99 a month. Happy holidays. Want to spread the spirit. You can join the Boy Green Coffee Club down below. Join the Boy Green Coffee Club here. Click that. It's only $2.99 a month. So you can support the show. If you want to gift a membership, you're watching on YouTube, there's a little money sign where you're watching. Click that. It's the final option. It says gift channel memberships. You can gift 1, 3, 5, 10, 15, 25, 50. You can gift as many memberships as you'd like. They're only $2.99 a month, but you could spread them to the rest of the Boy Green Daily listeners. Anyone who has their gifted memberships open can potentially earn a gifted membership there. Like I said, if we get 12 in the next few minutes, I'll gift another 5, baby. Who is willing to spread the holiday spirit? Who's willing to do it? Who's willing to get those vibes going? Feel free to get those juices flowing, baby. We'd love to see it. Alan here says, Dakota, my in-laws are all Eagles fans. Yuck. Yeah, well, again, my fiance's family, all a bunch of disgusting Patriot fans, which I have to deal with on a year-to-year basis, which has been tough. Now, the Patriots stink this year, but the Jets stink this year. But week 3 was great. Week 3 was terrific. Absolutely. And I'm glad that I was there. There weren't a lot of Jet wins this year. Haven't been anyway. But I will tell you, week 3, that moment in time, Jets improving to, 2-1 on the season for the first time since 2015. The vibes were immaculate. Absolutely friggin' immaculate. There's no doubt about it. Got a question here from Johnny Boy. Boy Green, if Kyle Shanahan is let go by the Niners, do we scoop him up? And if so, does that mean we keep Ulbrich as a DC? Just throwing that out there. That would be a wild turn of events. First off, it's funny. It's one of those ones that you make fun of him when he's not here, like Kyle Shanahan. You could never win the big game, pal. But he's like this offensive genius, right? He's an offensive genius. And but if he was out there, he'd be out there for like 5 seconds. I mean, honestly, that's how quickly he would be out there. But yeah, would we scoop him up? Every team in the NFL would want to scoop him up. But yes, in that very unique scenario, Johnny Boy, it's a great question. If Shanahan was hired, I imagine he would keep Ulbrich, which would be a funny twist turn of events. I don't know how likely that is, but boy, the 49ers are looking a little questionable, if we're being honest. Hey now, FL Phil 98. Whoa. Just gifted a membership, baby. He's in the gifting spirit. Shout out to Ali Shafai. You are now a member to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. Shout out to FL Phil 98 for the holiday spirit. We appreciate you guys. Okay, we're only 11 members away, and I'll give away another 5 right now here on the show. Come on, baby. You guys can do it. You can jump on the train just like FL Phil 98. You can gift a membership. Let's go. We got a few minutes left before I got to run to the radio station. Can we do it, baby? Can we? Yes, we can. So let's gift some memberships, baby. Let's keep it rolling. Let's get the energy flopping all over the fish. And while we're waiting for those memberships to pour in and rain from the high heavens, I'll tell you this. Today's my last day at the radio station this week. They're shutting things down early for the Thanksgiving holiday. We're going to have a Football Tuesday here on the show with NFL picks against the spread. We're going to have fantasy football people. So if you guys have fantasy football questions, make sure you send those in. We're going to have Joe Bartle of rotowire.com at 10:30 talking all things fantasy football. And at 11:30, we're talking all things NFL and some Jets with our guy Will Parkinson, baby. He'll be coming on at 11:30. So we have a little bit of everything, baby. A little bit of everything happening here on the show. There you go. And Ali said, I nailed the name pronunciation. Booyah! There we go, Ali. Welcome to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. Okay. There we go. Nice. Yeah. You love to see it, baby. You love to see it. You know, us radio people take great pride in making sure we get those name pronunciations right. I stopped doing it, but for like 6 years, I was the PA voice of the Syracuse Strong. So I pronounce all kinds of, it's a semi-professional football team. So we were presenting all kinds of names, making sure they were said correctly over the radio. We have 600 people in the room now, so make sure you guys like the video, hit subscribe, baby. We're live every single day at 7:30 in the morning, and we will be back at 3 o'clock, baby. So there you go. That'd be wonderful. My Holy King says they just fired Saleh. Bring him back that soon? Ha ha. The Jets. So like Vance Joseph, right? So he was the head coach of the Broncos. That failed, and then he left, and then he came back as the DC under a very big name head coach in Sean Payton. So it can happen where a head coach can come back to the same team in a lesser role, but yeah, I don't think that quickly. I don't know if Robert Saleh's in any rush to be coming over here. All right, we got a YouTube super chat coming in from Backwoods Aren't Cool Baby. He's joining us here on the show, a great, great supporter of the programs. Right, Luna?
Wow.
You get to see Cam Ward up close and personal this week. That's true. Miami travels to Syracuse. Miami, a top 10 team in the country, and Syracuse Orange will be hosting them. 4 tutties, 358 yards, future Jet in the making. Man, he seems like an exciting kid from just watching on the television to watch in person. That's going to be pretty, pretty cool. That's coming up again on Saturday. I believe that game time is 3:30. Backwards Aren't Cool. So thanks for sending that in, brother, for the YouTube super chat. We appreciate you. Yeah, Cam Ward. He looks exciting. He looks like the fun one out of the group that perhaps could be the next member of the Jets. And as Jared B put out here, anyone who becomes a member of the Boy Green Coffee Club gets access to our Discord channel. Literally, we only have a few minutes remaining. Can we rally the necessary votes, like a Survivor style? Can we do it, folks? Join the Boy Green Coffee Club. Gift some memberships. I'm sitting on the button. I just want to gift 5 right now, but I just need a few more. I need you guys to join in with me. So gift some of those memberships, baby. If you're watching on YouTube, it's the money sign. I'm looking at YouTube right now. You go on over here. You hit the little money sign. Click that. 4 options pop up. Super stickers, super chat, membership, or membership gifting. You click on the membership gifting option, and then you have a bunch of options of memberships to give away, and you can gift as many as you'd like. 1, 3, 5, 10, anything. So we'll do that. Again, if we could get another 10, 11 members. It was at 11. I'll just put it at 10. If we get another 10 members right now, I'll give 5. I've reduced it. 10 members, get 5. It's like a Black Friday sale. You buy insert many, and they get a bonus. Like buy one, get one. You get one, they get another one. You buy one, get another one. Here we go, baby. Come on now. We're at a nearly an hour and a half show, but I do have to go to the radio station here in a few minutes. So we'll see if we could get that in here in just a moment. We'll re-rack real quick. I'll just, for those who are just joining us now that didn't join us for the beginning part of the show, again, the 33rd team had a top 5 GM replacement list for Joe Douglas, but it was written by some random NFL analyst. No offense to Tyler Brook, but it wasn't of the top guys coming in. It was not of Tannenbaum and also of Rick Spielman. It was the other. Whoa, just coming in, our number 1 Austrian Jet fan is the one that stepped up to the plate, baby. Okay, I friggin' love it. Yes. Boom, shaka, laka, baby. All right, beautiful. Thank you for stepping up to the plate, baby. You've been carrying a lot of the water here, our number 1 Austrian Jet fan. I am a man of my word, so let me give 5 right now. Booyah! We have an absolute, Thanksgiving celebration happening here, baby. You love to see it. Here we go. And now 5 more new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Let's friggin' go. Love it. Our number 1 Austrian Jet fan with a 10-pack, and then Boy Green myself with another 5. Let's go. We got 15 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club, baby. And let me update the banner appropriately here. And then we'll read those members, and then we'll see you guys back at 3 o'clock, baby. Yes, let's go. And let's play a couple more. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right, here are all the new members to Jets Boy Green Coffee Club. Jets Worldwide, wide. Stephen Hendel, Gerard Juarez, Keith Jackson, Stephen Kinslow, Jay-Z Jet Fan, Matt from L5. Let's see, Luppy OU812, ML007, Jets Fool 24. You guys are all now members of the Boy Green Coffee Club, and here's 5 more. Roy Kamulidin, PViz, Jet Strong 1273, Andrew Kemp, and Jay Savage. You guys are all now members of the Boy Green Coffee Club. Here we friggin' go. And the updated banner is, again, 46 members away from our number one Austrian Jet fan from getting involved. And number one Austrian Jet fan says, got to save money after all that hoopla. That's for sure. There was your holiday spending. We'll have to see if you could get some help moving forward for some of our other members to make that happen. But thank you for all the support, our number one Austrian Jet fan. All right, everybody, I got to head to the radio station. Shout out to our number one Austrian Jet fan, FL Phil 98, Jared B, and all the wonderful people who are sending in memberships. Lee Van, David D, Floor Lily for the super stickers and super chats and everything else. You guys help keep the lights on, and you guys make it a lot of freaking fun to do this baby. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you again at 3 o'clock. Myself, James Woody, will play a fun Jets roster game. You're not going to want to miss it. That's coming up at 3 o'clock right here on the Boy Green YouTube channel. Like the video, hit subscribe, spread the gospel, and we'll be back in a little bit. Take care, everybody.